Hi there and welcome to another episode of PILOTCLIMB.com. In today's video we are going to perform the aircraft circuit training. Okay, if you are not familiar with this maneuver, this is basically, imagine that you have done your type rating on the Boeing 737-800 in this case, and for the first time you actually go into the real aircraft. So after you have performed all the simulators or the exams, the first time you get in on board, you actually get to fly the Boeing 737 for the first time is actually doing this aircraft circuit training. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. V1 rotate. Hi there, my name is Gabriele and I help you to become a better pilot, whether if you are a simmer or a real pilot. If you need any help, just go to PILOTCLIMB.com and check my services, and if you want to support my job, give it a like to the video. Okay guys, what is this aircraft circuit training? As we said, imagine you have done your type rating, you have done your simulator, your practical, theoretical exam and practical exams on for the type rating of the Boeing 737, okay? And the circuit training is the first time that you get the chance to fly, okay? So basically it's like a visual pattern, like the one that you did on the Cessna 172, but with the Boeing 737-800. Okay, so first of all, first disclaimer here, guys, I'm not very familiar with the simulator, so maybe it's gonna be a little bit messy, but I'm gonna do my best to do the best job, because we're going to perform 3 touch and goes. Okay, so it's going to be one takeoff, downwind, base, landing, one other touch and go, downwind, base, landing, touch and go, downwind, base, and full stop landing. Okay, but how does it work on the Boeing 737? Okay, so the first thing that we need to understand is that we will going to do a takeoff with flap 5, guys, and as you can see the flap 5 already set in there. So we're gonna take off flap 5 at 400 feet. Okay, what will happen is that we're gonna accelerate, okay, and maintain flap 5 speed. Okay, we turn on base. In this case, guys, our runway is the runway. If you look in here, guys, okay, let me do this. Okay, so if you look in here, we are on the runway 20 in Alghero, where I'm from, okay, in Sardinia. So we were going to take off, then after takeoff at 400 feet we're gonna turn left and we're gonna fly the downwind. Okay, so what does it mean is that basically we take off, then we turn left, we fly downwind. The downwind is going to be around 020. Okay, so then we get a beam, the landing threshold in here, and this dot line there that I put on the fix is actually a beam from the runway threshold, okay, from the landing threshold. Once we are in here, we start the time, okay, and the time is in here. Okay, so what we are going to do, I'm gonna start the time like that. Okay, so once we are actually once 30 seconds are elapsed, okay, we are going to put gear down, flap 50, and we perform the landing checklist. Then we arrive in here, and once we've got 45 seconds on the downwind, we're gonna put flap 25, we turn base, we start the descent, and then we do landing flap. We're gonna do a flap 30 landing. Okay, our initial altitude is going to be 1500 feet or 1500 feet, and today's weather, guys, we can actually listen to the 80s and see what it says. Okay, so the frequency for the 80s in Alghero is the 125.025, and let's listen to it.
Alghero information whiskey 700 Zulu weather, wind 270 at 7, variable 230 to 300, visibility 10. Sky conditions 3000 few, temperature 15, dew point 8. Area QNH 1019. Arriving runway 20, departing runway 20. Advise on initial contact, you have whiskey.
Alright guys, so as you listened, okay, we've got the wind is 270 degrees 7 knots. That means that we've got a wind that is coming slightly to the right. It's short of, not slightly to the right, it's like it's crosswind 7 knots. Okay, so it's not that a big deal. 15 degrees QNH 1019. We've got some clouds around, okay, in fact, if you look outside, we've got some clouds in there, okay, but apart from that, it's all a good weather, okay. Beautiful. So let me cancel this. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you very quickly our performances. Okay, I said that we're gonna have a gross weight of 54.9, okay, so 54,900 kilograms. Cruise altitude is going to be 1500 feet, 1500 feet, as we said. We're gonna take off with 24, but it's going to be everything off, so autopilot off, auto throttle off, and everything. Okay, and then we're gonna do a takeoff with flap 5 initially. Once we perform the once we perform the touch and go, guys, after the first landing, what we are going to do, we're gonna land, okay? So what we're going to do, we're gonna land and we're gonna have flap 30 in here, okay? So after the first touchdown, you will see that we're gonna have the flap lever to 30. So we need to increase the thrust lever to the center position, so around 60% of N1. So we touch down 60% of N1. The flap is gonna go from flap 30 to flap 15. Okay, so I'm gonna retract the flaps from flap 30 to flap 15, and I'm gonna set the trim between 5 and 6 units, like in this case that is now. Okay, so as you can see, what I'm gonna have to do after the touchdown, guys, okay, I have to control the center line, retract the flaps, put the stub trim between 5 and 6, make sure that the thrust lever is around 60% of N1, and once that the flaps are fine, the stub trim is fine, we're gonna set again the N1 around 85 to 90% and accelerate to the rotation speed. The rotation speed in this case is going to be around the VREF of flap 30 or flap 40. Okay, so in our case, it's going to be VREF flap 30. Okay, so guys, take off 400 feet left to the downwind. Once we are on the downwind at the 1500 feet at flap 5 speed, what we are going to do, we're gonna fly all the way down to the abeam of the landing threshold, okay, landing runway, timing there 30 seconds. What we're gonna do, we're gonna set up gear down flap 15, 45 seconds, we are going to do flap 25, flap 30 shortly after, and then we just get established 2 whites and 2 reds, and or on the glide slope. We try to fly the glide slope if it's possible, and then land. Once we land, touchdown, what we're going to do, guys, 60% of N1, okay, so we're gonna advance the thrust lever to the 60%, retract the flaps from flap 30 to flap 15, put the stub trim between 5 and 6 units, and then again 85% on the thrust on N1, accelerate to the VREF 30, and then take off again, okay? So guys, as you can already imagine, this is an exercise that is already quite demanding as a multi-pilot, and I'm here alone on the simulator, so I'm gonna make mistakes, so don't blame me, but I'm trying to do this exercise to show you what is the circuit training, okay? I try to do my best, okay? We always have to remember that we need to do the after takeoff checks on the downwind, the descent, and the approach checklist as well, okay? So guys, let's see how it goes, alright? So we can actually start the timing now. We've got the lights are already on. I'm not gonna mess with these lights, okay? Let's put the start switch as well to continuous and leave them in there, okay? So we've got everything there. An important thing that I forgot to mention, guys, is that we will not use any auto brake nor any speed brake, because if you use these ones, once you land, the auto brake, the auto speed brake system will extend to up. So we will not arm the speed brake, okay, guys? You see, we're not gonna arm the speed brake, okay? So we're gonna actually leave the speed brake down. Now I see speed brake do not arm. There is a problem in here. Ah, yeah, of course, because we are on the ground at the moment. So we're gonna leave the speed brake down and the auto brake to off. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right. So let me start up again the time. So time now. Set 40% N1. Here we go. That is stabilized, and we set the takeoff thrust manually. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal.
80 knots.
Check.
E1, rotate.
Rotate. There we go.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Okay, so let's turn left, heading at 0 to 0, 25 degrees of bank, guys, and then let's keep 170 knots on the speed, okay?
1000.
Check. And let's accelerate to 170, okay? Clip flap 5. Approaching 1500 feet, so I start to level off the plane in there and start to reduce the speed, okay? Because we need 170 knots. A bit fast on the speed. There we go. So we got flap 5 in there, everything is fine, okay? Just trying to reduce the speed, and we are going back on the thrust. Alright, so the thrust now are closed, speed is coming back, we go 1500 feet, 25 degrees of bank, 170 knots. Add a little bit of thrust. The heading is coming, we're gonna leave on the heading 020. There we go. So we've got the track there, we're gonna fly the track, okay, so perfect. So we're gonna do the after takeoff checks. In this case, it's going to be landing gear up and off, okay? Landing gear up and off, the start switch should be off, and that's complete, okay? And the altimeters are set. Beautiful. So now we are approaching, being the landing threshold, guys. So I'm gonna start the timing, okay? Timing now. Here we go. So time, sorry for the. Here we go. Timing now. Okay, 1500 feet. Okay, cool. All right, very good. So at 30 seconds, guys, we said gear down, flap 15. Okay, so 30 seconds now is gone. Gear down and flap 15. And we retract the flaps. I actually need to set that VREF for the flap 30. There we go. So we've got the VREF flap 30. That's fine, perfect. Now 45 seconds, guys, flap 25. And we start to descend, okay? And we fly the 140 knots. I'm getting very busy now, but because it's the first circuit train, the next one's going to be fine, I guess. Flap 25 and flap 30. We keep 140 knots, and we try not to descend too much. Here we go. So I keep, again, the control of the plane. Landing checks.
Stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Check. We perform the landing checks, guys. Gear down, flap 30, 30 green lights. We've got the glide slope, so we are below. So we're gonna level off for a second. There's a warning that we are below the glide slope, okay? Check. Here we go, let's level off for a second, 100 feet. Check. We descend too much during the first base turn, okay? So now I'll start to turn left in order to get established inbound. Here we go, so we go back the glide slope. That's a warning that, as you can see, the glide slope is above us, guys, okay? Unfortunately, on the... So the puppies are one white and 3 red, so it's not bad, okay? So let's start to go down. So speed brake off, auto brake off, everything is fine now. 2 whites and 2 red, I look outside and I look inside, okay? I align myself. The speed is slightly too high, and I start to reduce the speed. Okay. And we are coming for the first touch and go. I'm looking more outside, okay, the puppies, because that's the one, because check is the reference that I need to use, okay?
Approaching minimums.
Check.
400.
Check.
Minimums.
Continue.
300.
Check. Alright, so we are back on the puppies, and now I'm aiming for the touchdown there, okay? And I'm only looking outside now, okay?
200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, so speed brake up, thrust lever 60% N1, flap to 20-15. We've got the start trim back to 5 and 6. There we go, so back now 80% N1. And at VREF we rotate. Rotate. Here we go, and we climb back again.
Positive rate.
Gear up. 15 degrees of pitch.
$400.
Check. So again, we start to speed up and turn left on the downwind. Okay, now V2 plus 15, we set flap 5 and we keep the flap 5, okay? 170 knots in this case.
1,000.
Check. Back to climb speed, and we are about to level off at 1500 feet. 25 degrees of bank angle, and we try to keep 1500 feet, 170 knots, okay?
2,500.
Check, terrain is noted. So I'm gonna, here we go. So the time is off again, slightly too fast, I reduce the speed in there, okay? Trying to maintain 25 degrees of bank, speed is fine, and we've got as well the altitude is okay. Going back on the speeds. There we go. Beautiful. So 1500 feet, 179. Looks everything quite okay. And we are about to get again on the downwind, okay? Go back on the 1500 feet. Here we go. So 0 to 0 on the track, 170 knots. And I'm coming back on the altitude, okay? There we go. So got 170 knots, 1500 feet, and we are approaching the landing threshold. Okay, so the aftertake of check is complete, descent checks and approach check is complete, and now timing again because I beam the landing threshold, and as you can see in there, that's the landing threshold somewhere in there. Here we go. And now at 30 seconds, guys, we said that we will need.
2,500.
Terrain is noted. That we will need to set gear down and flap 15, perform the landing checks to flaps. Okay. There we go, 30 seconds, gear down, flap 15, landing checks to flaps. So start switches are continue, landing gear down to greens in the seconds. There we go, down to greens. Speed brake off, and then we've got, here we go, 45 seconds now. Flap 25, we can actually go flap 30, and complete landing checklist. We've got the flaps are 30, landing lights on, landing checks complete, okay? And we descend with 500 feet per minute. I'm getting very busy, guys, I tell you, This is a very busy exercise. The problem here is that I don't have the visual, you know, so now in a real aircraft I could actually look outside and see where the airport is. But with the simulator I cannot do that, because if I do that I can see on the ground. Okay, 1000
feet
check.
stabilized, Mr. Birch,
Check.
altitude set.
Now the glide slope looks a little bit better now in this circuit pattern.
Light slow,
Check.
light slow, light slow.
This is very annoying. There we go. There we go. That's the runway to right and to right. We are correct on profile. Okay, everything looks good. Now I'm just looking outside, guys, check, because we are very close to the runway, so I want to make sure that I've got my touchdown right, check. I'm not looking inside for the ILS. In fact, for the next circuit we're gonna actually deselect the ILS frequency, okay? Check, continue.
300.
Check, slightly fast on the speed.
$200.
Check.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
There we go, another one. So now flap 15, stop 3 in 5 to 6, 60% and 1. Here we go, we go back to 85%. And at VREF we do the rotation. Rotate. Here we go. 14 degrees of pitch. Check. Gear up.
400.
Check, accelerate and left down. Okay, above the white back, flap 5. And we keep 170 knots. And we level off at 1500 feet.
1000.
Check. Now level off at 1500 feet, 25 degrees of bank, guys. It's not an easy task, this on the simulator. Eh? On the real aircraft it's a lot easier because first of all you are 2 people there, and then second of all you know if you want to change any switch you simply you know
2500.
check. You do basically with your arm and your hand. You know you don't do it with a mouse. That takes you some time as well. Okay, so 1500 feet, we've got speed 180, slowing down to 170 knots. And 70 knots is in there. 25 degrees of bank, 1500 feet, everything looks okay. Alright, so I'm gonna leave the 020 heading in there for the downwind. And now we've got the after takeoff checks complete, descent checks complete, approach checks complete, okay? Basically we are going to do the same.
2500.
Check, terrain is noted. You know what, let's try now to deselect the ILS frequency.
Algero Information Whiskey.
Oh no, I did a mistake,
800
sorry.
Zulu weather.
So that's the one and that's the one, here we go. So beautiful, now we have 0, ILS, no, we don't have any ILS information, we've got a beam, the landing threshold, time again. So we start time. 30 seconds guys, gear down, flap 15, landing checks to flap. 45 seconds, flap 25, flap 30, and then we do the landing checks and we get established, okay? As you saw guys on the previous 2 circuit training, okay, what happened was that we were actually slightly below the path. So I tried to do a base turn with a shallower rate of descent, okay? I tried to keep 200 feet per minute, something like it, 354 minutes. And then we increase a little bit. So now 30 seconds has passed, gear down, flap 15, landing checks to flap. So we've got the start switches are in continuous, speed brake are off, landing gear is down and 3 greens, auto brake off, holding at the speed, holding at the flaps. So we've got 45 seconds now, so turn on base, flap 25 and flap 30 and complete landing checklist. So I try to keep a shallower rate of descent. So flap 30 is green lights and the landing lights are on complete, okay? And now we get established for a full stop landing. So now it's all visual guys, okay?
1000.
Check.
1000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Approach altitude set.
Okay, 2 whites and 2 red, we are perfectly on profile as you can see now, okay? The puppies are in there, we don't have any information, the glide stop is annoying us, telling us that we are below glide, so we continue like that, that's fine. Just line up now.
Check. Approaching minimums.
Check. Check.
Minimums.
Continue. Now looking outside, try to check
300.
check to maintain the touchdown zone on my in there, okay? As a target.
200.
Check. Center line, touchdown zone.
100.
Check.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
There we go. So speed brake up. reverse as normal. I'm gonna brake manually. There we go, so auto brake back off.
80 knots.
Check. Track the speed brake. And stop in here. Okay. Alright guys, so as you saw, this is a circuit training that you should perform after you perform your type rating on the simulator, you do your exams and everything, okay? This is actually the first time that you get on board of the plane. That's this exercise that the student pilots that are performing the type rating, they actually do. As you saw, the first two circuits, guys, we had this annoying below glide slope information because we had the glide slope information, the glide slope set in there, okay? To be honest, in real life, you don't have that one. The LS should not be set there because it's all visual, okay? But because the visual on the simulator for me was a lot difficult, I thought set the LS in order to help me a little bit because you could not see from the simulator the runway straight away. But that actually ended up to complicate the things. In fact, on the last circuit, you saw that without that below glide slope information, we were perfectly fine, okay? So, very important thing, guys, here. As you saw, it was very challenging and busy exercise, okay? With two pilots, one pilot actually takes care of everything, the other one is just focused on the flying, okay? So, as you said, and I've made a separate video about pilot flying, pilot monitoring. This is a very cool exercise that you can actually do at home on your simulator to improve and check your workload capacity and your instrument scan, okay? Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, leave a comment below and I will help you out. And you can actually go to PILOTCLIMB.com if you want to subscribe for free pilot training content. I wish you a great day and I'll see you on the next one. Check, we can set to 70, please.